What are the top 10 NBA starting lineups coming up this season? We're going to break it down on today's video, but first, I need you guys to subscribe to Chat Sports because I want to do more NBA content on this channel, but the bosses say we got to get more subscribers. So if you want NBA content every single day, go down right now and hit that big red sub button. You're watching NBA Now by Chat Sports. I am your host, Marshall Green. Top 10 NBA lineups, the starting lineups. We're going to break those down in today's video. A little bit of a disclaimer. These are not my top 10 NBA lineups. We put out a poll in the Chat Sports offices between our NBA team. We all voted. We did some sort of weird multiplication, long division to come up with the top 10. And here they are. At number 10, the Los Angeles Clippers fall into this spot. I do know this. If they end up trading for James Harden, they could skyrocket up this list. But when you have guys like Paul George and Kawhi Leonard, two of the best two-way wings in the NBA, you're going to be up there. And Russell Westbrook honestly was pretty solid for the Clippers. I mean, even when the playoffs, when Kawhi and PG were unable to play, Westbrook held it down. I also like Zubac as that center. I think he's really underrated. I think he kind of looks like me a little bit now that I'm looking at him right there. And then Nick Batum, a good veteran that can stretch the court. Why the Clippers work, though, and why I think that they are a top starting lineup, they'd be higher if not for injuries. I mean, we got to be honest about that. LeBron, Kawhi, and Paul George, they miss a lot of games, no doubt about it. Westbrook, he showed out in the playoffs, and I love the defensive intensity and just versatility that they have. And even though they may be injured more time than not, Kawhi and PG, they are still those guys. If only we knew, though, their full potential. I want to see in the playoffs Kawhi, PG, and Russell Westbrook or James Harden potentially all playing at the same time. I've always believed that they were a point guard and injuries and health away from getting to the top. Maybe this year will be that year. I've given you the 10th best starting lineup in the NBA. I want to ask you, though, who has the best starting lineup heading into the season? Give me your answer down below in the comments section. If you get hit with that YouTube ad break, scroll on down right now and let me know. At number 9, we stay out in the Western Conference. We got the Sacramento Kings coming in at the number 9 spot. I really like what they did last year, and I just like the continuity, the floor spacing, and really just the chemistry that this starting lineup brings. De'Aaron Fox became one of the best point guards in the NBA. Herter has a strap from downtown. Harrison Barnes is that veteran forward that can get buckets. And I think Keegan Murray is going to be a really good player in this league. And they have the all-star big man Sabonis holding it down in the middle. Pace and space, though, that is the name of the game for the Sacramento Kings. They play at one of the fastest paces in the NBA. That's a credit to Fox, one of the fastest players in the league. And they get to the line. They get to the free throw line a lot. Also, Keegan Murray, I think, is going to get better and better. We're going to look back in 3 or 4 years and be like, why were we not giving him the credit he deserved? I think he's going to be one of the best stretch fours in the NBA. And look, the fans, the energy in the crowd, light the beam, baby. This team is so much fun. If I had to have a Western Conference favorite team, it might be the Sacramento Kings. At number 8, this one was a controversy in the Chat Sports studios because we didn't know if we could put them on there with Ja Morant potentially missing the first 25 games. But, man, when they are healthy and not on gun suspension, Morant, Marcus Smart, Desmond Bane, Jaren Jackson, Steven Adams. I think that, honestly, if he wasn't suspended, he'd be even higher. I'm a big fan of Desmond Bane. I think he's going to continue to be one of the best young two-way players in this league. I like the addition of Marcus Smart as well to this lineup. He fits right in. He has that Memphis Grizzlies grit and grind type of attitude. He plays defense. He ain't scared. Is never going to back down. Also, Triple J and Bane, they get better every single year. And that's a credit to the development staff that they have there in Memphis. Also, the addition by subtraction of getting rid of Dylan Brooks, I think that absolutely matters. And if Ja matures upon suspension, they could maybe be in the top 5 when we redo this at the NBA All-Star Game. Can we trust Ja, though? I think that's the question you got to ask yourself. I don't know. Right now, I can't. It's an unfortunate situation. But it's something that he can only blame himself for at this point. I hope Ja can recover. He's a great NBA player. In this league, they need another guy like Ja Morant who can actually be available for all the games. At number 7, we finally dip our toe into the Eastern Conference, and the Philadelphia 76ers roll in here. You got the MVP, the big fella, Joel Embiid, who averaged 33 points per game last year for the 76ers. I mean, as long as you got Embiid, you're going to be a pretty good starting lineup. But I'm a huge fan of Tyrese Maxey. I think the fit of P.J. Tucker makes a lot of sense. I know Tobias Harris gets a lot of hate, but I think he's a good fourth option in the starting lineup. And whether or not James Harden is there, I think they will still be a really good team. Multiple MVPs could be the question for Joel Embiid. He could get there, but you also got an MVP out of James Harden. You got an MVP out of Joel Embiid. We love Tyrese Maxey, one of the most efficient young playmaking scoring guards in the league. They've got really good three-point shooters. And as long as Harden and Embiid are together, they're one of the best two-man duos in this league. Can they beat the second-round allegations, though? That's what every NBA fan wants to know. It seems like the second round is the ceiling at all times for the Sixers. But can they punch through, and can they get to the conference finals? It's going to be a very, very interesting year for Philly. At number 6, we got the Los Angeles Lakers. This is a team that I thought could have been a little bit higher on this list because when you got LeBron, Anthony Davis, and a young Austin Reeves to go alongside Jared Vanderbilt and D'Angelo Russell, there's a lot of talent in that lineup. But I know this, when LeBron and Anthony Davis are healthy, locked in, and ready to play basketball games, they're one of the best duos in this league. The postseason success is a big reason they're in this list. Top 2 in the Western Conference, losing to the Denver Nuggets, the eventual NBA champions. I also like the moves that they made in the offseason, adding a guy like Gabe Vincent and all of the players that they picked up. I'm a big fan of that. Jackson Hayes, the center. They added a couple of 3-and-D wings as well. They're a good team. I think Rui Hachimura in year 2 with the Lakers is going to accept a bigger role for this team. Also, the role distribution. It seems like everyone on this team has a role. How do they complement LeBron? That's a question. At the end of the day, he may be 39 in December. He is still that guy. The Lakers looked like a new team after the All-Star break. The moves that they made, hats off to Rob Pelinka. I think he's one of the most underrated GMs in this league. I thought he won the NBA trade deadline, and I think he's a big winner of the offseason so far. I want to know this, though. Is LeBron James still a top 5 player in the NBA? Let me know what you think. Type D for definitely, or if you think the king should remove his crown, type W for washed. At number 5, back into the Western Conference. Kind of wild that we've talked about 6 teams already, and 5 of them are from the West. The West may be back this year. But we got the Golden State Warriors. I mean, you got Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and Draymond Green. And I really am a big fan of Andrew Wiggins. They just have that championship DNA. Kevon Looney is a stud as well in his role. He's not a superstar. He's not a star, but he is a star role player. He does what this team needs. And the championships won speak for itself. They have elite chemistry, and they have the highest assist percentage in the NBA, two-way wings in Andrew Wiggins. And I think some of these young guys are only going to get better and better on this team. They have the highest net rating in the NBA, and they have Hall of Fame talent and guys that are going to be remembered in this game as greats for quite some time. The question maybe is the title window still open? I still do believe that it is. And I'm really interested to see where Chris Paul fits in with this team. Could the closing lineup for the Warriors feature Chris Paul, Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, and Andrew Wiggins? Maybe the new death lineup for Golden State as they turn a leaf and really start a new era of basketball there. At number 4, we've got the Milwaukee Bucks, a team that I think is destined to make up for their first-round loss in the playoffs last year. You got Giannis, you got Jrue Holiday, you got Khris Middleton and Brook Lopez. Those 4 guys are as good as anybody's top 4 guys in the NBA starting lineup. And Grayson Allen is a good connector piece. He can knock down some threes. He's aggressive on defense. He might trip you if you get in his way, but he's a scrappy player, and I think he complements really the makeup and model of this team. They're championship caliber, no doubt about it. The floor is always spread. I am interested, though, with a new head coach. Are they going to take a step back? Are they going to take a step forward? Elite on-ball defenders? And Giannis is Giannis. I think he's still the first or second best player in the NBA. It was the injuries, though, that held them back from really getting to where they wanted to go in the NBA last year. You know, Middleton dealt with some injuries. Giannis missed some games in the first round. And this isn't injury-related. I think Jrue Holiday is one of the most underrated players in the league. At number 3, Chat Sports had the Boston Celtics coming in at the third best starting lineup in the NBA. You look at this starting lineup, and they got better this offseason, but there's some new faces in this starting lineup. You still got $300 million man Jaylen Brown. Jayson Tatum's going to get that bag soon. And then you added Kristaps Porzingis. Tingus Pingus is an extremely talented player. It's the injuries that are a question. But you're going to see Derrick White probably roll into that starting lineup as Marcus Smart is no longer on this team. We know that Jayson Tatum and Jaylen Brown are special, and they've gotten better every single year. The question I will ask, though, is have they hit the ceiling with that duo? Derrick White, I think he does elevate this lineup in a sense that he gives them kind of a defensive replacement for Marcus Smart. Derrick White, All-NBA defensive player this past year. I still think, though, they are a point guard away from getting to the top of where they want to go. I think Kristaps Porzingis makes them a more talented group. But now when you think about it, like, you got 4 forwards. I mean, Al Horford, you can call him a center, but you got Jayson Tatum, who's a forward. I know Jaylen Brown plays the 2, but he's a forward. He can't dribble with his left hand. And Kristaps Porzingis. I think the lack of a ball handler and really an offensive floor general could be what's holding them back, but there's no doubt they got some of the best talent in this lineup. Who wins more games, though? Let's focus in on the Eastern Conference right here. Between the Celtics and the Bucks, who is going to win the more games this season? Type C if you're rolling with the C's, or big B's if you're rolling with the Bucks. At number 2, Chat Sports had the Phoenix Suns coming in here. I'm going to be honest with you. I'd put them at number 1, but I got respect for the team that's in the number 1 spot, which we will unveil in a second. It's hard to really argue, though, with Devin Booker, Bradley Beal, and Kevin Durant. I'm looking at this on screen, and I'm like, man, this is actually happening. You're getting 3 of the top 10, in my opinion, ISO scores in this game, and you can't deny the star power that they have. Kevin Durant, nothing needs to be said about how special of a player he is. I think Devin Booker is one of the best 2 guards in the NBA. Also doesn't get the respect he deserves as a defender. Efficient playoff offense, 61.3% when it comes to true shooting. CP3 out, Bradley Beal in is a huge upgrade. And what I like the most is every player on the starting lineup is a threat to score. And you still got the big fella, Deandre Ayton, man in the middle. This could be the most deadly ISO lineup of all time. I mean, they're probably going to lead the league in mid-range jumpers this year just because that's where guys like Devin Booker and Kevin Durant and Bradley Beal fit. And I honestly think that they're all a good fit because their play styles mesh, and it's not going to be a clunky fit. I would not be surprised if we see them in the Western Conference Finals. But number 1, we've got the NBA champion, the Denver Nuggets. Can you really argue that they're not the best starting lineup? It was tough. I thought you could have put the Suns 1 there, but man, the team won the NBA Finals. There was nobody in the playoffs that really made it a challenge for them, and they're just so complete. Murray, Caldwell-Pope, Michael Porter Jr., I think, is going to make a big step this year. Aaron Gordon, Nikola Jokic. This starting lineup is special. You got the best player in the world, though, in Nikola Jokic. You just won a championship. You got the best player in the world. It seems like this team doesn't deal with any injury. 700 minutes together, this starting lineup in 2022. The elite pick-and-roll game. I think Jamal Murray is one of the best backcourt scorers in the league and the highest net rating in the league at 13.1. Not the best talent, which I don't even know if that's fair to say, but, man, they easily have the best chemistry, and they've done what a lot of starting lineups in this league want to do, go down as the NBA champions. It's going to be tough to dethrone them. My NBA Finals pick, Bucks and Nuggets. That's what I got coming up this year. Will they repeat, though? Could they beat the Bucks, or will they beat another Eastern Conference team this year? Will Denver do it back-to-back seasons? Let me know what you think. Type Y for yes, type N for no. And remember, guys, if you want more NBA videos every day, hit that sub button. It's the easiest way to let the bosses know we want more NBA content. As always, I just want to say thank you, and I appreciate you for hanging out with us here at Chat Sports.